Hey everybody, this is Natalie from Light of Ascension Tarot. Thank you for being here. If you haven't checked out my other YouTube channel, Power Moon Tarot by Natalie H, you can find the link in the description box for that. And on that channel, I do a lot of 18 plus readings, romance, love, etc. This channel is dedicated to spiritual reading, life path readings, mediumship readings. Okay, and so today's reading, we're going to go ahead and ask the question, what are you releasing and what is coming in its place? And quickly before we do that, if you want to follow me on Instagram or TikTok, details for how to do that are in the description box. If you're interested in purchasing either of my decks, the Dirty Little Grab Bag or Soul Messages, you can find me using them often on my other channel, Power Moon Tarot, and even find a complete deck walkthrough on that channel too, showing what's in each deck, etc. Okay, so everything's going to be in the description box for you. And it's so funny regarding this reading because I recorded this reading about a day ago, and when I finished it, I realized it had stopped recording in the middle of it. So, obviously there was some other messages that Spirit wanted to convey, and sometimes as creators, we have to just deal with the fact that, hey, we have to start over at times, and maybe the first version was just practice, right? So for me, if I was going to talk about what I am releasing, I would talk about a sense of frustration with things sometimes, because I like things to run smoothly and be on time, and that's just my Taurus personality. But you guys know how it goes. Sometimes the universe has other plans, and it is a Wheel of Fortune year for me, meaning that is my card, my personal tarot card for the year 2021. So we're going with the flow, baby, okay? And in today's reading, you have 3 piles to choose from. So you can go with the deck that you're most drawn to, or you can go with the, color, the tea light that you're most drawn to. Go based on the timestamp, which will also be in the description box. You're more than welcome to listen to more than one pile too. So pile number 1 is represented here with the orange tea light and the Light Seers Tarot. So if you're interested in that, you'll choose pile number 1. If you're interested in pile number 2, this is the Before Tarot, and you'll choose the purple tea light. And if you're interested in pile number 3, or the Mystic Mondays Tarot, you will choose the yellow tea light. So let's find out together, what are we releasing and what is coming in its wake. All right, so let's go ahead and put the other piles aside. Let's release any tension and stress from the day, any worries, any anxieties, any emotions that aren't ours. I mean, it's fine if we're here absorbing other people's emotions at times, but we can release at any point as well too, and we don't have to be afraid of emotions. Emotions are, it's what we do with them that counts. And actually, not just that, but feeling them too and understanding what that means to us, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. For my beautiful pile number 1s, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. You chose the orange tea light, and today's reading is called What Are You Releasing and What is Coming in its place, okay? So thank you so much for being here, pile number 1. Let's drop into the energy of your reading. Spirits, angels, and guides. For my beautiful pile number 1s, please help me drop into the energy of their reading and to what they are releasing right now, so that they can be like a bird flying free. Okay, pile number 1. I just heard that song by Nelly Furtado from, I think it was, from like 2007, 2008, maybe earlier, maybe 2005. I'm like a bird, I'll only fly away. I don't know where my soul is. I don't know where my home is, right? This song is called I'm Like a Bird. So let's go ahead and get into it for my beautiful pile number 1s who are like a bird. What are you releasing? We have the Sacred Fool. Okay, so we're going to read this. This is from the Divine Circus deck. But I think also just looking at this card, what I feel like you're releasing is the sense that, sometimes disbelief with the decisions that you've made, or been like, shit, I went down this path, I can't really undo it, and and just being like, oh, I feel like I shouldn't have done that, or I shouldn't have stumbled in that direction, or feeling like you're doubting yourself. Okay, pile number one. So we're going to get into that. Oh, and look at that. There's the emperor popping up to say it's time to have confidence in yourself. It's time to stop doubting yourself. And I also feel like acceptance is a big part of your reading here too, like accepting some of the structures or things that are in your life right now, because a lot of times we feel like those structures may be oppressing us. And, you know, I'm the first one to jump in and talk about oppression. I hate oppression, right? But like, we all need structure to function on a daily basis. So this is kind of like putting some routines, I feel like, in place that are going to help make you more sovereign. Yeah, we have Four of Swords here. So we have 2 4s. So definitely a grounding, stable type of energy. But this is also talking about, you know, space in the mental body to really reflect on what's happening to you and not just be swept up in the energies around you. Okay, this is the time and the space that you need to get sovereign in your own energy and not be completely blown over by other people mentally, emotionally, or physically. Okay, and we have the Queen of Wands here. Okay, so, you know, this is like, I feel like I just got the word recharging your batteries. Okay, pile number one. I feel like you guys are recharging your batteries, because it's like I feel like there's been something you've been trying to do, and you're awaiting the results, and it hasn't quite come off like you wanted to. And some of you may feel like your confidence is slipping here, but with the Queen of Swords and the Emperor, it's going to come right back. It's going to come right back to you. I also feel like some of you here are beginners at something that you're doing, and you may be around a couple of people that are very like oppressive on your energy or disturbing your peace. Also, like, you might be kind of feeling like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place at your job. There may be a superior here, or a friend or a superior or a family member who's been upset with you lately, who's been fighting with you lately, who's been arguing with you lately about some of the ideas or decisions, or how you see things or how you want to do things. All right, and I feel like, you know, you guys are kind of stuck in between these 2 energies right now, and it's like, just give me a break here. You know, that's what I'm feeling. Sea Serpent. Okay, so that is sacral chakra energy, and you have the orange tea light. So, and for me, I know the Emperor is more rooted in its root chakra energy, but for me, the Emperor is also sacral chakra energy, because it's like after we've done everything we need to do in our day, and we actually get a time to like rest and relax our minds and just be, then what do we feel like doing? You know, what do we feel like creating? What do we feel like, you know, what do we feel like doing in those moments? And how can we better serve ourselves, right? So we have sacrifice. All right, so I do feel like some of you guys here we have calling in the storm and sacrifice. I feel like some of you guys are quite tired of playing the fool or being the sacrificial lamb for others, or taking the blame for something also is what I feel here too, pile number one. We have red, safety, strength, and power. Yeah, I did mention the root chakra earlier a minute ago. That's coming out under the Queen of Wands, calling in the storm. This Queen of Wands is looking pretty serious about what it is that she wants to get done. And she's had a moment to think about the next steps here. And she's, you know, gathered some significant power and clout here, and is ready to kind of make a show of it by calling in the storm, okay? And I think some of you guys here with this sacrifice energy, it's like you're tired of having to play second fiddle or having to sacrifice to others. It's like, you know, really, am I still doing this? I don't want to do this anymore, right? We have untapped energy, Kundalini, right? And with this sea serpent here with this snake eating its own tail, like that always reminds me of Kundalini energy, right? So I do feel like you guys are going to be, if you've been kind of holding things in and you haven't, and towards someone else, and you haven't really been saying what you think and you've just been sort of swallowing your tongue or not really expressing yourself, although you have other ideas, there's other things you want to do or implement. I feel like get ready, pile number one, because it's going to start coming out now. It's coming out. We have card 17 with the star card and heal here. We have the hermit card with seek. Okay, so we have seek your healing, seek your blessings, seek your healing, stabilize your energy. Don't waste energy. That's the other thing I'm getting here. Don't waste your energy. We have daring dreamer. The change the way you see, not the way you look. Okay. Yeah. So change the way you see, not the way you look. So how you see situations, whether, you know, and the way you see certain situations may be infringing on your peace, I feel like, and kind of sometimes, you know, that piece of it here is interrupting your focus and your concentration. I feel like pile number one. Let's go ahead and take a look at this card number 28, Sacred Fool here. Sacred Fool, card number 28. Let's take a look. It says, there's much to be said for common sense, practicality, and grounded approach, especially with matters, spiritual matters, and creating a life that fulfills your dreams. The daring dreamer, right? Okay, but if you're really going to live, love, and thrive and create in this lifetime to be original, then you're also going to be willing to run the risk of being seen to be the fool. Yeah, people not thinking that your ideas are good or not liking what you're putting forth. Okay, some people will call you stupid or foolish or delusional if you dare to dream or follow that dream in all the ways you possibly can imagine. If you refuse to give up, even if others tell you that if it hasn't happened by now, it's never going to happen, then they may say that you're being a child or silly or disconnected from the idea of the real world. Don't listen to these voices. They don't understand the power of the fool is truth. In the court, the fool was the one the king would trust and ask for advice. The king, the emperor, would trust and ask for advice, okay? And you guys have the emperor here. So why? Because he was allowed to speak the truth where others would just try to make politically smart choices to win them power. The fool just called the spade a spade. When the fool in you speaks, it's to tell you something true. It might seem inconvenient, right? An inconvenient truth, frightening or exciting. It might turn your world upside down or inspire you with greater happiness or faith. It's not your job to reason it away or say that it's too difficult or dangerous, potentially deluded to act upon the truth. It's your job to remember that the game of life can only be won if you're willing to take the risk and to play it. So when the sacred fool is part of your hand, listen up, take a chance, take a risk, forget about what other people think. Instead, listen to yourself and live true. Okay, so yeah, it's like listening to your own inner authority here. Quieting your mind with the Four of Swords energy, quieting your mind, getting a good night's sleep, and feeling balanced, mentally balanced and stable mentally, and making choices and decisions from there. Not continuing to sacrifice for others, but instead with calling in the storm here, it's like, okay, I'm finally just going to let the Band-Aid rip off of this thing. I'm finally just going to, you know, I'm just going to finally show up, right? I have all this untapped energy that I have within me, and I'm finally going to open up and just really show who I am and dare to dream in this situation. Okay, we have Aquarius and Virgo energy here. With the sea serpent, like I said, this is the Kundalini energy that's coming up in you right now, pile number one. And the Kundalini energy is always like that awakening energy, okay? It's that awakening that rises up and moves us forward. So we have healing, right? The sea serpent has to do with healing, and then we have healing right here too, going within the seeker to heal, tapping into our Kundalini energy, right? So, you know, I feel like for some of you guys have been avoiding direct confrontation with your own need to have space and heal, okay? And that is you're going to be releasing that and being able to get more space like that for yourself here. It says the sea serpent represents the energy of expression, whether it's emotion, creativity, sensuality, desire. The sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. The energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated. Our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current expression stagnates in some areas of our life, and in other places it floods. So this talks about having an overactive or underactive sacral chakra, like what happens when it's too overactive and then when it's not, okay? The subtle energy of the sea serpent occupies the area of the sacral chakra located deep within the pelvic bowl. This chakra is known as our center of creativity and desire and is associated with the water element. The sacral chakra, oh, I love this. The sacral chakra translates to in her own abode, indicating this chakra is the home of the Divine Mother, or Kundalini herself. Oh my God, guys. And then you have the Kundalini right underneath here, okay? So it's not being afraid to show yourself anymore, letting the energy rise up in you, letting your creativity activate, not worrying about what people think about what you're doing, okay? Just not worrying about that at all, and not sacrificing who you are in order to appease others or appease the authority figures or the powers that be. All right, it's like you are becoming the daring dreamer here, and you have part of this process is going within, spending some alone time here, maybe in nature. And then really just, here comes your ascension, the star card, healing, okay? Wow. So from your head to your toes, pile number one, especially with this red energy, with strength and perseverance and power, right? The power to create, the power to change, all right? The power to move, pile number one. So let's go ahead and see. What is pile number one releasing? What is pile number one releasing here, Spirit? Also, if anybody told you when you were younger that your dreams can't come true, or you're not going to get very far, or you won't get very far without someone else in your life, like, fuck that, you guys. Seriously. If that's something that has stuck with you, then that is something that is literally being dismantled from your spirit at this point, okay? So let's go ahead and see. We have Temperance here. So your angels are stepping in to say, hey, like this process, you don't even have to show up in your Sunday best. You can show up in a tank top and, you know, just some random pants and some boots, and you can just sit your ass down on the floor over here and receive our wisdom, pile number one, okay? So they're like, you know, come as you are, right? That song by Nirvana, come as you are, pile number one. That's what I feel like your angels are saying. Just come as you are. We have the Queen of Swords here. So yeah, it's just like you've danced the dance with others enough here, and your own fire, Kundalini energy, fire and water with the sea serpent energy is rising up, and it is lighting your spine up, pile number one. And I was going through a Kundalini awakening in my early 20s. I thought I was having a nervous breakdown, but I wasn't. I was doing just fine. I was going to school at the time, working full time. And my mind was clearer than ever. Queen of Swords, clearer than ever. But some people around me thought I was having a nervous breakdown because I was having some very interesting spiritual experiences, okay? And so it was like my creativity was just getting switched on and activated left and right. Yeah, so it says, what are we leaving behind here? What are we leaving behind with the Eight of Cups? A sense that we have to sacrifice or be a victim or be a martyr to others, right? That if we're successful and happy, and if other people aren't, like, we have to take ourselves down to that level, okay? That we need to dial back our own, you know, our own peace of mind or our own sense of celebration of who we are to kind of get on the same level with other people. And Spirit is saying that's with the Sacrifice card here, that time is over, you know, and she's wearing armor in this card. So it's, and the Emperor is very armored up too, right? So it's like, I feel like a lot of you are saying, you know what, I would rather just walk away from this thing, and I would just rather leave on a high note here rather than go through the experience of having to, you know, having to sacrifice certain things of myself to appease others. Or yeah, it's like with the Hermit energy, you're like, I would rather just kind of be by myself. With the Hermit and the High Priestess here and the Ace of Wands, I would rather just be by myself in my own zone and my own creative energies and be in touch with Spirit and, you know, light my third eye on fire here and heal and be, rather than, you know, and I feel like some of you guys are like turning your backs on, you know, the party, if you know what I mean. Like, and it's because I really feel this need here. We have the Hermit twice, the High Priestess, right? I feel this need to go within, right? We have this Queen of Wands and Emperor energy, which is fire energy and pushing us more out. But I feel like mostly, you know, and you guys are fine, you know, with going out here or there, spending some time with people. But I just kind of feel like you're just wanting to sort of leave on a high note, all right, from whatever it is that you have been doing lately that you're looking to kind of walk away from, rather than have things get, you know, nasty or have things get, you know, work. Just leaving on a high note is what I'm getting, pile number one, okay? So let's go ahead and see what is coming in for pile number one after these changes are made. Right? I mean, this is a chance to become really strong and really empowered about your boundaries and about what you will and won't put up with, pile number one, okay? And it's about protecting your creative space where you can play and be in wonderment and heal and listen to your inner voice, okay? That's really what's it about, pile number one, what I feel for you. What you're gonna get in its place is a sense of wonderment and play, and you're gonna get the sense that you're protecting yourself here. Some of you may be protecting certain ideas that you have, keeping them internalized, keeping them within yourself for now, getting a lot of clarity, getting a lot of downloads here, but not really sharing them with other people is what I feel like at this point. It's like you're kind of internalizing everything. And you're in that incubation phase with this Daring Dreamer and the Hermit card. You're in this incubation phase right now, and a lot of you are not really wanting to share with other people all the magnificent things that are happening, all the ideas that you're getting, all the inspiration that's hitting you. It's kind of like you kind of want to go off on your own and maybe just with one or two other people and just celebrate how this is all changing for you. I feel like pile number one. I'm also getting like an Australia vibe, or kind of that vibe of being on the beach at night, okay? So let's go ahead and see what is coming in here for pile number one. Ooh, we have the Page of Cups, right? So it's like those, I think when you guys go off and you're by the water, or you have some moments to yourself when you can really separate from the grind and the hustle and you can just connect with Spirit, I feel like that's the time that your heart is really open, pile number one. And that's when the ideas are really coming in. And there may be a specific person here, a friend, a loved one, a family member, who is starting to see you in a different light. I feel like they're starting to see you in a different way than they have seen you before. And this is going to be a very interesting and curious experiment. And, you know, at the same time, like, good for them. But at the same time, I feel like that you guys are just like, I'm going to continue on here. I'm going to continue on. And I'm not going to let Seven of Swords, other people's opinion or lack of involvement in my life, deter me from what it is that I'm trying to do here. I feel like a lot of you are very clear-headed about what it is that you want now. Okay, pile number one. So that is the energy that I am getting for you. It's a very empowering reading. I feel like you guys are going through a Kundalini awakening. Look that up online if you've never read about that before, and learn the symptoms of it and what you go through, and some mantras that you can work through when you're going through that. Okay, I think it'll be helpful for you, pile number one. And actually, I think we can have more than one Kundalini awakening in our life. I think we can have them many different times, many different ways, and different parts of us getting activated. So even if you've already had one in the past, it could very well be that you're having one now too. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the energy for pile number two. Pile number two, welcome to your reading. You chose the purple tea light. Today's reading is called What Are You Releasing and What Is Coming In For You Instead? I just love the selenite here with the purple candle and the purple tea light, the pink candle, the white candle, loving the colors, loving the yellow on here too. Just this balance kind of, it's almost like a Libra Venus type of an energy. So let's go ahead and get into your reading, pile number two. Spirits, angels, and guides, for my beautiful pile number twos who want to pour their heart out for spirit, who are wonderful, loving people, who've certainly had challenges in their life as well. Pile number two. What is pile number two being released from? I'm honestly getting the feeling, pile number two, that you're getting released from the feeling of being challenging or difficult, okay? Because I feel like sometimes, it's that energy of asking for what you want or what you need, and then second guessing yourself or being afraid of being challenging or difficult, okay? And so I feel like that is kind of going to come off your shoulders here. And that energy here, I feel like, is lifting off you. Like, it's okay to be challenging. It's okay to be difficult at times. And even probably what you perceive as that is probably not even happening anyway, but that's fine. So let's go ahead and get into it for pile number two. I feel like this involves a work scenario for some of you. Play your hand. Yeah, baby, play it. Roll your dice, right? Look at her here. She's like, boom, getting ready to roll her dice. And, there's other people in the background here that are kind of looking at you like, what is she or he gonna do, right? But Spirit is saying here, roll your dice, play your hand. Don't be afraid of seeing as being difficult or demanding or needing to ask for something. It's time to do it. It's time to roll the dice, okay? We've got the Ace of Swords. Yeah, it's time for you to ask for what you want, pile number two. It's time for you to ask for it. The time is right. Six of Swords. Yeah, it's moving on from stagnation, all right? I'm seeing the initials RCA, but the initials are turned upside down. So I feel like some of you guys have, been thinking, it's like you're like, okay, I'm going to do it. And then you're like, I don't know. And then it kind of wavers a little bit here. Yeah, some of you guys are afraid of the consequences here with the Tower of what's going to happen if you move on from this situation, or if you take up more space, or you become more of a challenging direct energy. And I feel like Spirit is saying, that's cool. You're meant to embody that right now, pile number two. You're meant to kind of shake things up here. All right. And you're ready to set things in another direction. You're ready to change the direction of things. And the Six of Swords is right after the Five of Swords. So it's not like, I feel like you guys are, you may have Aquarius in your chart or have air in your chart, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel like your guys' idea of kind of cutting through the bullshit and putting everything out there, it's like not even as bad as you think, because I feel like certain things need to be said, okay? And people in your environment could be waiting for you to sort of say something, all right? We have the buffalo here. So there's your strength. There's your stability. This is earth energy. It's abundance energy. Like the time is ripe. The low hanging fruit time is right. We have naked before the stars. Yeah, it's time to just step up. I'm seeing the letter T here. The time is ripe for you just to step up and say what it is. Say what you need to say and not be afraid, all right? Play your hand. That's, Hiding your true self. Yep, we have being naked in front of the stars and hiding your true self. So some of you guys have been, you know, and I love this, like we have this like red cloak here with all the swords around it, looking like somebody is kind of pushing off. And we have here, we have this woman in 2 red cloaks here, hiding your true self. All right, so not letting people really see the Thundercat that you are. You guys are Thundercats in my pile number 2s, all right? Like, you got Leo in your chart, you got some Aquarius in your chart, you got Uranus attach your moon or attach your sun or opposite your sun. You guys are my Thundercats, okay? So, you know, it's time to be naked in front of the stars and communicate what you need and play your hand. Roll the dice, baby. Yeah, we have abundant universe. Wow, we have 2 signs of abundance here. We have this cornucopia, and then we have this buffalo. It's time for the harvest. Okay, it's time to know that the more that you show yourself and the more that you put your true energy out there, and keep in mind, pile number 2, you are not for everyone. And if some people you actually rub the wrong way, that's a sign that you're really being yourself, because you're not meant to be everyone's savior, everyone's true love, everyone's divine empress. I mean, maybe some of you guys are like that, right? But it's like sometimes you have to play the bad guy. Like sometimes you need to come in like the Tower and the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords, emotionless. You know, not emotionless, but, you know, direct, just clear-headed. And you need to just kind of lay waste to some fools, okay? Like the buffalo isn't playing. We're going to play our hand here, even if there are other people in the background that are like, WTF, what are you doing? It's like, well, mind your business, right? That's what you can say to these people. Mind your business, because I'm minding mine, okay? We have blue and we have Madonna and mothering. So I feel like you guys have always been, you know, kind of, you've been very caring and you've really carried the weight in some situations. And with this blue energy, I mean, this blue Madonna and mothering energy is pretty much opposite, I feel like, of the Tower, right? And it's like, Spirit is telling you that, you know, you being a caring and loving individual has been part of your soul path, part of your soul mission, part of, you know, what's how Spirit wanted to get you activated. But now I feel like you guys are needing to be a bit more, I don't want to say caustic, but a bit more like, a bit more challenging is what I feel like, okay? Yeah, we have Ace of Pentacles here, strengthening bonds. We have 2 aces. So Spirit is like, part of your personality is shifting right now. You're still, don't doubt, you're still a loving, caring, empathic person. I feel like some of you in this pile are empaths. You're very sensitive to energy. And I feel like a lot of you feel like because the good deeds that you've done have been so well received by Spirit that it has actually helped your abundance. And if you kind of go in a bit stronger or you go in a little bit harder, that may affect that. But I'm here to say no. Like, look at all these signs of abundance here. Yeah, the 4 of Swords, just breathe. Look at your guides connecting with you here. Look at them swirling their energy around you and connecting with you. And they're telling you, as you're revealing your true self, as you're uncloaking yourself, as you're standing up and challenging some of the things that are said and done around you, Spirit's like, we're right here with you. We're holding energy with you. We got you. Oh, look at this. Pile number 2, soul sisters, right? 2 hearts and 1 soul. Sisterhood, okay? So for some of you, this is a beautiful reminder that your soul family has your back, okay? Whether that's, I'm seeing the initials DD or the letters D and D here. I feel like, you know, this is just a confirmation to know that there could be a family member, a friend, somebody in your soul tribe, a guide, a family member that really has your back, really has your back here, okay? And I feel like you guys need to know that no matter what happens, you're gonna have a safe place to fall and people that have your back, all right? So I wanna read a little bit about this card, Play Your Hand. and see what we can get from it. We have card 38 and then card 39, and then we have 29. So some of you could be around those ages or had major things happen then. But let's look at 39 here. There are times to surrender to flow and to let the universe show you where to go. Then there are times when you need to choose to play your cards and to make your move, right? Here, you're going to make the moves, all right? Pile number 2, like with the tower, you're making the moves now. All right, the universe is asking you, what do you want? What are you willing to do? Don't waste a golden opportunity and such a receptive audience. I mean, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Swords here, I feel like people are going to be open to what you have to say. Go into your heart and ask for what you want. If you don't know the details, that's just fine. Ask for the essence of what you want and leave the finer details up to the universe to sort out. Do you want love? Do you want abundance, peace, pleasure, passion, purpose? Or do you want creative freedom to discover and express your treasures of your own unknown talent, to feel so safe and secure within that you can relax and live your life to the fullest? Given the universe notice of what you're willing to receive, and it will more than halfway meet you. Take the initiative to set something in motion with your intentions and actions and your willingness to play your hand in the game of life. Don't be afraid to show your cards, to be open about what you want, to ask the universe to bring you something special in your life, okay? You have to take the first step, then all manner of support will come into play. It's not the time for dreaming only, it's the time for doing. Even if just taking one step in the direction of your dreams, do it, go for it with gusto. You do not have to hide yourself, right? Look at this card, hiding your true self. You do not need to hide yourself, okay? Or your plans for fear that another may judge or ridicule. There are times to be discreet and times to show your hand. This is your time to let your intentions be known. You are capable of playing a bold and fearless game of chance. Your confidence and willingness to be open are your keys to winning the game. So come on, sweet soul, show your cards. Let's roll the dice. All right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pile number 1 was a little bit different. It was like pile number 1 was more like, don't tell everyone what you're doing. With this, it's like, it's time, okay? So different energy, different piles, and I love that. I love that because we're channeling the collective here, pile number 2. So what is pile number 2 releasing? What is pile number 2 releasing? Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I think you're also, some of you are releasing control or a sense that everything has to be planned, or that if you just, that the universe is arbitrary and that if you don't plan out every little detail, then, you know, unseen forces are going to come in and take control of this thing, and that you kind of have to be the one to, you know, lay everything down here. And if you don't plan every detail, then you're not gonna, it's not gonna happen for you. But the universe in this card, play your hand, is saying, go ahead and play your hand, play your card, right? Play it, let it go, right? And see what happens. Let go of the outcome. Play your hand and let go of the outcome here, all right? You're coming into a new beginning here with the Ace of Swords and Ace of Pentacles. So just roll the dice, baby. That's what Spirit is saying. You're letting go of the tension of not knowing and the need to control. With the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower here, it's like, whew, get ready. Get ready. All right. Oh, there's the Tower. I literally just said, and I was talking about this tower, but then the tower falls out of my hand upside down, right? So it's this sense that if we get ahead of things, that we can control it. Like, especially for those of us that are intuitive and understand like the changing rhythms. I feel like sometimes for people like us, it's like, you know, if we sometimes attempt to play God, you know, like we're like, okay, I'm just gonna, I can see this is coming to an end. I'm just gonna push it over the edge, right? And the universe is saying like, instead of kind of pretending, instead of pushing things to endings, why don't you put something out there that is a wild card or a beginning? Why don't you take a creative risk? Why don't you do that thing that you always wanted to do instead of maybe just driving things down to the end here, which I can totally, you know, or avoiding it, right? Like Spirit is showing you all these signs that this particular job or this particular energy is going to fade out, and you're just kind of like avoiding it, right? But Spirit is saying, no, like go into it, okay? So we have 9 of Cups here. So yeah, it's like you're going to release the fact that, you know, that you feel like there's no more fun left to be had, or there's no more, you know, there's no just relaxing and chilling. Like nothing will get done unless it's some big massive event, okay? And I feel like you guys are letting go of that and saying things can be easier. If I just focus on what I want and I just start that train down the track, like let's see what comes in, okay? Instead of avoiding it. What else is pile number 1 release, or pile number 2 releasing? The Fool. Wow. So yeah, you guys are releasing the sense that, you know, if you're starting over or things are happening very quickly around you, that you can't have fun and enjoy it, right? And I feel like you guys are releasing a sense that you can't like be yourself, or you can't look silly trying something new, or that you can't have fun traveling and going places and trying new things, that you're always going to kind of be tethered to the same circumstances until literally, you know, the universe just pulls them away from you. It's like the universe is wanting you to take a more active role here. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is pile number 2. Like, say what you want, right? Listen, be open to what Spirit says, but say what you want and start putting things in motion and have fun doing that. And then Spirit is going to know, okay, that's what pile number 2 wants. That's what they want. That's what they're committed to. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is coming in for pile number 2. We have the 5 of Pentacles. So, you know, as things start rapidly unfolding and changing, I feel like some of you guys are going to be like, did I make the right decision? Like some doubt may creep in. You might be like, okay, like I went ahead and I did it, and now I'm not sure that I, you know, and then the universe is just going to come back and say, you know, everything here has a purpose. Stop resisting it, because this is your path to abundance, right? And we saw abundance with the buffalo and this abundant universe here. We saw, you know, abundance coming up quite a bit, and new beginnings in abundance here, okay? And I feel like, you know, if you guys at the beginning, you might be like, well, I don't know, you know, I don't know if that was a smart move. I feel like some of you guys are going to be like, I don't know. But you know what? With the Empress here, it's like, it's that reassurance. It's that reassurance that you have a safe place to land, pile number 2, okay? So let's see. Yeah, we have the Ace of Cups. I feel like some of you guys are opening up your heart. Some of you may be thinking about one day becoming a parent, or you may be thinking about bringing new love into your life, or even just healing from things that have been physically very challenging, or making you feel like you have very low vitality, where you're not feeling like super good in your body. I feel like all these things are changing here. Okay, so we have the Moon, right? So I mean, it's like Spirit is saying justice on the bottom of the deck. I think you guys like to know, like, if I do this, then what's going to happen, right? It's that Libra energy that I was talking about. It's that mental energy. It's like, if I do this, what will happen, right? And Spirit here is just saying, Spirit wants you to love, and don't stop believing. Keep believing in your happy ending, and let that be bigger than your doubts. Let that be bigger than feeling like you could fail, or that you're not going to make it. All right. Let that be bigger than any stuck energy that's kind of breaking free inside of you right now. Okay. Because the future is unknown. With the Moon and the Wheel of Fortune here, it's like, play your hand, because the script is still being written. And, you know, it just isn't all like the universe doing everything, and it isn't just all us doing everything, right? It's like, we need to take that initial step and put ourselves out there, but then, and we need to have committed effort here too, but this isn't even about that. I think you guys do have committed effort. It's more about getting comfortable with uncertainty. Honestly, that's what I feel like. getting comfortable with uncertainty is what you are releasing and moving into, pile number 2, okay? So like that was really interesting. And I love that the soul sisters came up here, because it's like you do have people around you who support you and support your evolution here, okay, pile number 2. So, and you may have a special friend or family member or someone, you know, from your soul tribe that is really wanting to hear from you right now. So I feel like that's also a message to you, pile number 2. All right, let's move on to pile number 3. Let's get it. All right, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. You chose the yellow tea light, and today's reading is called What Are You Releasing and What Is Coming In Instead of What You're Releasing here. Okay, so let's go ahead. And I'm getting, you know what? I just got the words, the midnight hour. The midnight hour, okay? So some of you guys could have been going through a dark night of the soul or going through the midnight hour. I love the yellow tea light because it's, you know, it's like everything is coming out and being seen under the light, okay? So the midnight hour, I feel like, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. Spirits, angels, and guides, please help me connect to the energy of pile number 3 and what they're releasing and manifesting right now, please. And thank you. I feel like my face is getting a little bit flushed too, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get into it. I feel like you guys may be having some like physical symptoms, like getting real hot and getting real cold and things like that with your body. And like sometimes maybe having blurry vision, or you know, being a little bit dizzy at times. And I feel like some of you may be kind of going through ascension symptoms right now, pile number 3, of course, if it's not anything medical, right? But let's go ahead and see what is pile number 3 entering into and releasing. Let's check it out. We have death shall not take him, okay? So some of you may actually be having gone through a phase in your life where you know, you were experiencing some physical symptoms. I'm seeing AI and AZ here. AZT, all right? AZ could be Arizona, but I'm seeing AI, which could also mean artificial intelligence, like spending a lot of time on, you know, Netflix, YouTube, etc., doing a lot of things with technology, you know, working a lot in technology till like your eyes are all blurry, right? And wondering like, what the hell, you know, am I just a machine here or am I a real human being, right? And it says, death shall not take him or her. Let's see what else we have here. Page of Pentacles, right? Getting in touch with the earth. 7 of Swords, right? Moon in Aquarius, too detached at times, needing to get in touch with the earth. We have the Queen of Swords, getting that mind clear again, getting your mind really clear and focused. And yeah, and also if some of you feeling like there may be people around you who don't have your best interest at heart, I feel like there may be a specific person here that you're releasing as well, pile number 3. Let's go ahead and get out more of the cards though. We have Bat, right, the midnight hour. That's when the Bat energy is coming out. And, you know, it's being able to see at night, see what we can't see during the daytime, okay? And we have Fated to Suffer, right? So some of you feeling like here we can see like the witch giving the young girl the apple and her reaching out to take the apple and being like, you know, I'm fated to suffer. Or some of you going through some physical stuff here, blinded to pain, all right? Yeah, with this 7 of Swords here and blinded to pain, it's like, you know, people just coming into your life and maybe even in relationships, just really disappointing you and making you feel like disconnected and just making you like judging you or looking at you harshly. I feel like pile number 3. And I just got the word destroying your spirit, okay? I feel like there's been some people around you who have almost, it's like they almost destroyed your spirit. It's like they fed you a poison apple, okay? Some relationships you've been in, family relationships, etc., even friendships. you know, might have felt like poisonous to you guys at times. Some of you may have had a very challenging, difficult, cold, and detached mother, I feel like here too, okay? And let's go ahead and see. We have chakras, the light body, all right? So yeah, it's like our energetic centers finally lighting up and trusting our bodies, pile number 3. We have clarity, go within. Yep, go within. The midnight hour, we're going to go within and get into those subtle energies. We have 9 of Swords and our darkest fears. So our darkest fears here could be that we're fated to suffer, like medically or physically, or that, you know, we're just going to end up like our mother or father did, or we're just going to repeat the same patterns, right? That we're fated to suffer and we can't get out of that, right? Here's the 7 of Swords again and blinded to pain. So we have the 9 and the 7 of Swords. So yeah, and we have blame my gypsy soul, or card number 3, gypsy here. And yeah, and I feel like some of you guys may be blaming yourself and saying, you know, I always kind of pick these energies, or this is what I get drawn to or attracted to. And I feel like a lot of you guys here with the 9 of Swords and 7 of Swords, it's like, you know, you're having to face your deepest fears in the shadow, okay? It's you're having to face the your deepest fears about, and some of these coming from the time that you were a kiddo here, all right? I'm getting, you know, earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy, Aquarius energy in this reading. But I mean, here's the clarity, okay? And it's coming during your darkest hour here with this bat energy. And, you know, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger with this death shall not take him card. But you know what? I hate that saying. I actually really fucking hate that saying, pile number 3. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. I mean, I feel like sometimes that just encourages us to feel like we're fated to suffer, or that we need to accept abuse, right? And, you know, and it makes us think that we have to keep pushing, even if something is making us uncomfortable or isn't truly for us, like we have to keep going through it, because no pain, no gain, right? I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be releasing this kind of attitude, okay? Like mind over matter, no pain, no gain. Like, you know, I'm fated to suffer, or it's been this way since I was a child, and now I'm dealing with these nightmares, right? And I feel like with this bat energy, you guys aren't afraid to go to some of the darker places in your psyche where some of these fears live, and you're not afraid to go and examine them here with clarity, all right? And with the clarity and the Queen of Swords, I feel like you guys are, you know, understanding more about your mental energy. There's a lot of swords here. And, you know, I feel like you guys are understanding more about how your mental energy is affecting your physical health or any issues in your body, all right? And some of you guys may be kind of hippies. You may like the unconventional here with this gypsy energy. You may like, you know, living a little bit more unconventionally or acting a little bit different. And with this gypsy energy and seek the truth, it's like you're going to go within the depths of your own self and the depths within your own mind. And you're really going to find out what is true and what is false about you. And this doesn't really have to do with anybody else. I feel like pile number 3, this is more of, you know, what's in you, what's living on in you is what I feel like here, okay? And it's about getting released from that. It's getting released from, you know, incorrect assumptions about who you are. Incorrect, like you're fated to suffer or you're binded to the pain, right? Like it's getting over these incorrect assumptions about your life and your life path, I feel like pile number 3, okay? And throwing away those shitty ass comments like no pain, no gain, and you know, in order to get what you want, you have to suffer, or you know, just things that you might have even seen growing up as a child. I feel like pile number 3, you're transcending those energies right now. Let's go ahead and see what is pile number 3 releasing, Spirit. Ace of Swords. So any control over your mind or your thought processes, thoughts that do not serve you, right? Seeing the truth about your own mind and what you've been putting out there, right? Let's see. Any forms of communication that have crippled you or made you feel weak, or that you don't understand what's happening, okay? Yeah, we have 9 of Wands here. So I think a lot of you guys have been, you know, it's like the no pain, no gain card with the 9 of Wands, right? It's like we're going to go to great lengths to build this fortress so that we don't have to, you know, deal with anybody else, right? Like we're just gonna, it's kind of the no pain, no gain card, right? So I feel like you guys are definitely releasing those ideas about what it means to be a strong person, right? I feel like you guys are releasing that. Yeah, we have the Queen of Swords coming up twice, right? This sense that you have to block people or cut them off, or not deal with them, you know, that they cripple you or wound you in some way or confuse you in some way. You're way more together and smarter than you give yourself credit for, pile number 3. Like you have clarity, all right, and you will have mental peace, and you don't even need to even worry about it. I feel like people are kind of afraid to step to you, okay? Because you have a reputation for being very strong, very, very strong in your power, right? And it's like you don't even have to worry here. 4 of Pentacles. I feel like some of you may worry that you're not ever going to let people in, or you're not ever going to change, that you're always going to have to be putting out this like really strong, don't fuck with me, don't test me, and I will cut you, like this kind of energy, right? And that's never going to change, and that you're always going to have that. And you know, maybe in your past you did have to do that, and it was for very important reasons, okay? But Spirit is saying like it's not always going to be this way. 3 of Cups, all right? It's gonna be more about, you know, linking up with your soul tribe for a common purpose in the spirit of love and devotion here. Okay, pile number 3 with the 3 of Cups here. So what is pile number 3 gonna get when they let go of this energy? What is pile number 3 gonna get here? The King of Pentacles. All right, I feel like some of you are going to finally let someone in and have some love in your life, whether that's a new friend, or that's a new lover, or it's a new mentor. I feel like you guys are finally going to let someone in from your soul tribe, and you're going to link up with them, and it's going to be very positive, and you're really going to see how you've grown, okay? And you're going to be stable, solid, grounded, but you're not going to feel the need to be defensive. You're just going to be like observing and, you know, and knowing that you can handle yourself no matter what. Okay, pile number 3. Okay, so we have Death here. So we could be dealing with some Scorpio energy here, some Libra energy. You know, and I feel like this Death coming out underneath this Queen of Swords is kind of like you guys finally, you know, finally releasing some of this kind of like, you know, balls to the wall. I've got to defend myself. I've got to, you know, like being a little bit paranoid here with darkest fears and fated to suffer, like really wondering what people's motives are with the 2 7 of Swords coming up here. And I feel like, you know, this kind of view is, you're realizing there's not a lot left in that kind of a view. And you're just like, you know, I would rather just have some stability in my life, some really great commonalities, some friendships, some people that are very solid and together, some people that don't give up easily either. I mean, there's this sense of not giving up easily. And I think we need to kind of carve that out from the no pain, no gain, mind over matter, right? I don't feel like you guys are never going to be a person that gives up easily on things, okay? Like it's part of who you are, but I feel like this is changing and transforming in you with the Death card here. It's definitely changing. Big time. Major Arcana. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Yep. Yep. And look at the Fool on the bottom of the deck. Look at you guys taking that risk, taking that leap of faith. Look at you guys opening up and just saying, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot. I'm going to go ahead. There is something deep inside you, I feel like, urging you to kind of approach the way that you deal with other people differently. And I think you guys are going to be giving people like more chances. You're going to be opening up to them more energetically. You're going to be willing to kind of put yourself out there, okay? And I love this energy because it's the 2 of Cups and the 3 of Cups, right? So some of you, this is actually a new relationship that could definitely be coming in. But if not that, because some of you are already going to be in relationships, but it's just this sense of feeling simpatico with someone. Feeling, instead of being defensive and not unyielding and not wanting to change, it's like, and you know, and kind of just holding the line in a really stubborn, like kind of finalized manner here. We could have Taurus energy here. Like, I'm a Taurus, I relate to this reading. I feel like you guys instead here are changing the way that you open up to others and the way that you participate in group dynamics or getting to know new people. And I feel like you're letting your guard down, okay? And I feel like you're getting over some fears here about letting your guard down. And yeah, and I feel like, you know, we have Gypsy here and blame my gypsy soul. So sometimes I feel like you guys may have even checked out of certain situations because you're just like, you know, like it's not working, or I don't want it, right? Queen of Swords, cutting it off here. But, you know, I feel like you're going to start to see yourselves differently with this King of Pentacles. It's like there's a certain level of sophistication and what's the word? It's almost like quality and sophistication that you want in the people that you're around. And I still feel like with this Death card here that if it doesn't get to that level, you're okay with saying goodbye to it, and that's cool. But I do feel like you guys, when you open that energy up more, you're gonna be meeting some people that resonate more with you, okay? That can really relate to your gypsy soul here. And people that are like, I feel like you guys need to be around people that are funny, honestly. I feel like being around people that have a good sense of humor is the way to go for you, pile number 3, okay? So thank you so much, my lovelies. They need to be as sharp as you too. I just have to add that, but funny, okay? So thank you so much, pile number 3. It's 7:11 on my clock right now. It's a lucky, lucky number. And I'm going to end on that note. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on my other channel, Power Moon Tarot, link in the description box. And please subscribe here because it does help me keep making good content, keeps me motivated. Thank you so much, pile number 3, and take care.